While this episode of Insecure consisted of mostly Issa and Issa alone, it left us with a lot to unpack. What is it when your friends think you're a user, but you go out and do good things and dedicate your time, your energy, your effort, and your resources to other people? Want to talk about it? Here you go. This was a very introspective episode of Insecure. Let me start out by saying, y'all, I know I'm late, but I was not feeling good yesterday. And I felt bad about it because ever since I came out of my depression after my father's death and everything, I kind of made a vow to myself and to my therapist that I would be consistent in the endeavors in which I took upon in my life, because that was one of the things I was struggling with: showing up, being consistent, being reliable, giving y'all a little bit too much of my business. At any rate, we gonna get into it. I may not come when you want me, but if you're stroking, shut up, Quentin. Nevertheless, the episode of Insecure opens up right where it left off at. Issa wakes up with all these voice messages from everybody checking on her from the party on how Molly fucked up the thing, or whatever the case may be, and Issa decides to get up and do her self-care Sunday. Okay, let's get down to the real shit. Fine ass, sexy ass, deep voice ass, pull my panties to the side and let him slide through ass Nate calls Issa to check up on her. And you can tell that Molly's words to Issa really hit her in a deep place, because she says to Nate, you know, Nate, I want to thank you so much, but I hope you did not feel like I was using you. And Nate said, no, not at all. You needed help and I wanted to help you. And I'm going to tell you something. That dialogue right there, it made me take a look at my own life and certain family members, right, that I help with pride, and other ones that I help and I feel annoyed and it feels like a burden. And then I got to thinking about it, and it was like, you know, when you help somebody, you should be honored to help them. And I've learned to look at that situation sometimes when I have to repeatedly help people. I've learned to flip it, and instead of being mad, just thank the universe and thank God that I am the person in position to help and not the person who needs the help. There's always a silver lining in any and everything. And despite the fact that I still get annoyed sometimes, you should feel honored to be able to help somebody when you can, especially when you don't feel used by the person. I guess in Molly's case in the beginning, it was a goddamn honor, but the shit got very old really quickly, and Issa couldn't even give her an honorable mention in return, but we're gonna talk about that later. Issa gets down to the grocery store, and the pregnant woman was in there like, first of all, is it me? Or did y'all think the pregnant lady was trying to break line? I had never seen no shit like that before, but I thought about it. I said, you know what? If ever I get down and out, I got children and everything, I'm going to go to the store, put a couple things in the basket, and just beg other people to pay for it. Work ain't honest, but it pays the shit. Begging ain't honest, but it pays the bills. Well, unless you get Issa with a bad card. Mama had two things, the Similac up there. She had some cheeses, some Ritz crackers, whatever the hell she had in her basket. Everybody else was like, hell no, hell no. Girl, you better carry your ass down the WIC. You better get your ass on the Department of Labor's website. Girl, you better file for your stimulus and change your address in the IRS system. You better ask your sister, can you claim some of her kids and get your taxes and that, yeah. But time's just hard. I ain't got it. And Issa was like, come on, girl. Again, I thought the lady was pregnant. She didn't want to stand on her feet, and she was looking to skip the line. At any rate, she put her basket up there, and that lady went to run Issa car. It was like 100 or something. Issa was like, damn, bitch. Like, what all you got? When that car did not go through, mama, I hollered. Then when the pregnant girl was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. You just giving me perspective. I died. When a beggar, when a begging bitch don't even want your help, bitch, you know you for the Issa. Where all that sponsor money you embezzled, bitch? Where all them deposits and shit y'all ain't refund them damn people? You should have had some money on your car. I know you ain't let Condola run off with your money and your man. Honey, your car should have went through for that little 150. Girl, I would have had my hand in everybody. My hand would have been in the corn dog man register. It would have been in the cotton candy man register. It would have been in the parking man register. The intern wouldn't have got paid. The DJ wouldn't have got paid. Bitch, my car would have went through for the 150. Do you hear me? Better yet, I looked at that bitch and told her, can't you feed your baby whole milk and mix it with water? Because Similac is high. Okay? Nevertheless, that shit was funny. So then after Issa attempts to help the pregnant lady, that shit didn't work through. So she ends up giving George a ride because George missed the bus. Now let me tell you something. If George was not an adequate representation of ornery ass black people and old people, I do not know what is. First of all, that man said, you ain't a killing nobody. I won't hit a lady, but I'll slap a bitch. That shit hollered, and I am officially using that to the day I die. I won't hit a lady, but I'll slap a bitch. That shit was hilarious. Then when they driving down the car, he screamed, watch out! And Issa almost wrecked. I almost pulled my TV off the damn wall. That shit was so funny. George was talking all that shit, wouldn't tell Issa where he was going. Just drive down La Brea, like I said. Then when Issa stopped at the laundromat for that man to use the bathroom, that was the perfect opportunity for her ass to leave him with a fuck. People said, okay, let me tell you something. You did help. You got him closer to his dreams. That's a little goopoly for you hoes that ain't woke. I left his ass at the laundromat. Then he got in the car, eating and carrying on, talking to the other homeless man. Just the whole situation was hilarious. And then when Issa finally drops him off, it looks as if she dropped him off at his son's house, whom he may have been estranged from. I'm feeling in my spirit like there was something else from that scene, that transaction, that communication that I am missing. And if I am, please feel free to drop that in the comments and enlighten me, because like I said, I wasn't feeling good. My mind was bad. Issa gets to the sipping paint. Hey, Kyla Pratt, girl. We see you done came out of retirement, girl, or your bills backed up and you right here doing cameos. You went from African America's leading lady to, doing cameo roles. But let me tell you something. I ain't mad with nobody who started from the bottom. Now they trying to get here. Just because Dr. Doolittle ain't selling no more, you outgrow Disney. You had a baby. What's the other show you played on UPN? All of us or whoever, all of them, you, me, and he, what we gonna do, baby? That's a little into me. You probably was in that video too. We ain't seen you in so long. It was glad to see you with a little sidekick role with them girls or whatever. Now Issa had came down to the sipping paint with a whole gallon of the wine. Yes, honey, she had that Dussy wine, a whole gallon of it. And it felt good. You know, in that moment when I saw Kyla Pratt and the other girls and Issa and them were communicating and she shared the communion wine, that Dussy wine with the girls. Not to be confused with Dutty wine, that's that Dussy wine. When she shared that Dussy wine with the girls, it felt good because it was like, okay, Issa's going through a little something with her other homegirls, which she's not answering the phone from Kelli and all of them. She just needed a breath of fresh air. And I was like, yes. She found a group of homegirls, despite the fact that 3 of them didn't even live in the city, that she could connect with, unwind, and actually start some new relationships without the old baggage. You know, sometimes a friendship can be in such disrepair. There could be such negative history in their friendship that, believe it or not, you actually just have to start over with some new people with no baggage in order to be and live in the fullness of your new self. And that's what I gathered with Issa and these girls, so I damn thought. So they was all at the sipping paint, exchanging pleasantries, painting dicks or whatever, and having a really good time. And it felt like just carefree fun amongst girls that may have had something in common. And then they get ready to leave and part ways, and the girls invited Issa to go out for drinks. And I was so glad that Issa went until she got there. So then she started explaining what it is she did or whatever, and the girls was like, oh, so basically you the plug. Now, is it me, Or did y'all think when that girl went to eat went Issa to the bathroom and was asking Issa about, you know, is she the plug and what can she get? I thought she was finna ask Issa for some drugs. I honestly thought she was finna go to the bathroom and do some coke or offer Issa some coke. And don't ask me why my mind went there. It just did, bitch. Okay? Nevertheless, when Issa stuck her head up under the table, them girls had done left. They had done ran out the thing. Or whatever, and then Issa found that little paper that said, befriend a stranger and dine and dash, and you get extra points if you can do 2 in 1 challenge. While it was a cute little bridal thing to do that will forever create memories, it really was sad and it broke my heart what they did to Issa, because coming out of what she came out of, feeling like, you know, she had been betrayed by a friend and not having a real friend. This was a nice respite from all of that. And it was like, damn, just when I, you know, was feeling good at my most vulnerable state, these old random out-of-town shady-ass DC girls, and the DC girls can be shady, with they little G69 certification, they think because they fucking work for the government. Bitch, you don't work for the government because you special. You work for the government because there ain't no other jobs, some old default-ass positions, and you think you all that, girl. Whatever the case may be. Nevertheless, DC girls, y'all can have it. I ain't gonna give y'all too much. Y'all proud of y'all little jobs and y'all little paychecks that allow y'all to go splurge down to H&M and Zara. Girl, we see you with $300 worth of $9 shorts. That's cute for you or whatever. Us Miami girls, honey, we still out of Gucci. I almost fell off the stool. That's why God didn't like me talking ugly. He didn't like it, but that's all right. I ain't gonna give him too much, Lord. I see what you tried to give me a sign. We fall down, but we all get up. Just some of us get up in Gucci, and the rest of us being H&M, quiet as it's kept. You probably fell because that cheap shit tore up and you tripped on it. Nevertheless, or whatever, Issa pulls up on the girls, so we think, and cracked the bitch over the head with the painting. And I was like, yes, God. Although I was like, ooh, girl, it's 3 of them, and one of you might get jumped. It might even be 4 of them. And then we find out that it was just a vision, and that Issa was sitting, oh, excuse me, y'all. Issa was sitting at the stoplight, looking at the girls, and she didn't do nothing. See, she Kyla Pratt. You should have motioned for the director to let Issa whoop your ass, and you press charges against her. That way you could have been in another scene next week pressing charges against Issa in the courthouse, and your bills could get unbacked up. Because I know just one check for one cameo ain't going to give you what you need. I mean, at this rate, we ain't seen you in so long. Your daily rate probably was $1,100. You know, but you got it honest. It was better than laying on your back. Never the case. After she see the new girl, she needed the comfort of a man. She needs the comfort of a man. Yes, somebody who understands. She needs a lover with a slow hand. She needs a lover with an easy touch. That's the point of sisters, honey. Y'all don't know about that slow hand. Nevertheless, she had them call Nate. Or so I thought. I thought she was going to call Nate. I thought she was going to call Nate so he could give her. Has Nate gave Issa something she could feel already? I can't remember. I know they got in that pool yet, but did he stroke that kitty? Did she mind if he stroked her up? I don't mind. I mean, I really don't mind because it ain't none of my business, but I don't remember. Drop that in the comments and let me know if Nate got a little piece of that doocy wine. That doocy. Police put me over. They don't write no ticket. Between my legs. Trying to lick it. That doocy. Anyway, y'all, that's that damn Starbucks. I had a mocha frappuccino this morning from Starbucks and a cheese Dana, so y'all know I'm full of the good sugar. And anyway, I thought she called Nate so he could fuck, but she went around the mama house. She went around Boss Lady house, Regina, from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Wendy Raquel Robinson looked good. She looked like she ain't aged since the Steve Harvey Show. Quiet as it's kept. She almost looked too young to be playing Issa Mama. Let me find out your mama was a hoe and had you at 15. Let me find out your mama was the original Brenda's had a baby from the Tupac video, and the adoption people got you out the garbage and gave your mama some counseling and some wicked. She got her life together and went to college and raised y'all right. Let me find out. One thing I liked about that scene, is Issa walked in and the mama was glad to see her, but it's nothing like a mother's love. And a parent knows their child. That mama didn't know what was going on. She didn't press Issa about what was going on. She just said, in this moment, my child needs a hug. And she gave Issa that hug, and Issa broke down. And it was so reminiscent of a moment that I experienced. I was at one of my lowest points in Atlanta at one point, and I had texted my parents at like midnight and was like, I'm coming home tomorrow. And they didn't ask no questions. They just wrote back, okay, and I know they were asleep. And when I got home, they didn't press me. They just, had dinner waiting and just were there to listen until I came out with what was going on, and it was the healing that I needed. Sometimes you just got to go home and get a warm meal and a nice hug to make you feel better about the night before. You get my drift, hang if you can hang, no pain, no gain. Yes, honey, we gonna always pay homage to the old lady sitting under the tree. So then mama gave her talk about growing up and growing pains and how she would figure it out. And that is the beautiful thing about life. With time, you will figure it out. And everything might not feel good, but it always works out for your good. And the mama gave her that. The mama was like, baby, smooth. Don't rush the flow. You will figure it out with time. But one thing I like about grown folks' wisdom is that they can look back at people and be like, child, if you think, my grandma used to always say, if you think you're going through something now, keep living. You know what I'm saying? So mama was looking at her like, yeah, this shit hurt, but girl, in the grand scheme of life, you ain't really going through nothing. You'll get through it. Just keep living. Kelli calls Issa and asked her, did she call Molly? Kelli had kind of aggravated me with that because I kind of felt like, bitch, you should be calling Molly. Molly the one that fucked up the thing. And I'm glad Issa stood up for herself and said, did you call Molly with this same energy? And Kelli was like, yes, girl. And I believe Kelli did, because Kelli don't strike me as a liar. She like me. She might be a little messy, but she ain't no liar. And then Kelli broke it down and said, listen, me and Tiffany, we went through something like this, and we almost let so much time go by that we could not bounce back. And I think if you're 30 plus, that you've been there with a friend where either so much time has gone by that you couldn't bounce back. I'm currently in a situation right now where I haven't talked to somebody who was like a best friend of mine now for like 4 years. And at this point, it's like so much time has gone by that your life has just gotten accustomed to being what it is without that person, and you don't even care to talk about this shit no more. It's kind of like, I don't cry, all I can cry, said I'm all cried out over you. And it's like, while you mourn the friendship and what could have been and all the endless possibilities and what you used to have, it's like so much time has passed. Do I even feel like going back and unraveling this box and ripping the band-aid off of this damn near healed wound over some shit that I really ain't even hurting about anymore? I don't close that chapter of my life and move the hell on. And you hate that it has happened, but it is what it is. And I would hate for that to happen with Molly and Issa. I definitely think that this argument created an opportunity for success. I think this argument allowed both of them to truly get off their heart what they wanted to say to one another. And now when they come back together, they can rebuild their friendship based on what they now know about each other. Issa can now know, let me stop leaning on Molly so much and asking her for things because it's clearly making her feel away. And Molly can realize, let me stop coming to Issa with every little situation about my life because it's making her feel away. And I think that they can get back to a good place. It's going to take a while. It's going to take some healing. But I agree with Kelli. Don't let it sit. Issa then goes to get food from the place and she sees Molly sitting in the thing. And she debates, should she go in? Should she not go in? Should she go in? And I thought she was going to go in, but to be quite honest with you, Issa made the right decision, right? And here is why. We mad. This shit just happened a couple nights ago, right? So I'm not finna go in here and be all nice and, hey, how you doing? Because I really want to slap you in the face, right? However, we know each other too well, too intimately, too deep for me to walk in this place and not acknowledge you. it would just be awkward. So you know what? I'm just going to let you have it, and I'm just going to go somewhere else. And I don't want to talk to you until I'm ready and until it's time for us to really sit down and discuss what it is that took place. This shit was really deep, and it really did capture the types of things that really do go on in real life with friendships, especially in this age bracket. Like I said, they do a very good job of capturing these types of dynamics and nuanced things that go on in friendships, so much so that I'm willing to believe that these people are pulling from their real lives in the writer's room. Insecure had it going on, baby. It looked like next week's episode is going to give all the other actors and actresses a break, and that it's going to be all about Andrew and Molly for the most part, which I'm looking forward to. I hope in this next episode that we see some growth from Molly, and that she takes into account some of the things that Issa says, and we see her practice it with Andrew and his family, and she lets her guard down and open up and get that stick up out her ass. Nevertheless, that was Insecure. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe, and I'm gonna call y'all later because the bitch is feeling good. Bye. Work ain't honest, but it pays the bills.